Everyone has absolutely loved the Renault 2, and you can see why, right? It's affordable, it looks fantastic, it's electric, but a lot of people are saying the same thing about the new Renault 4. Here's what we know so far about the new electric crossover from Renault. It will share the CMF EV platform, or CMF BEV, with the new R5 hatchback. And there will also be a few different variants. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Renault's electrification strategy. They're trying to kind of bring back a bit of nostalgia for past Renault vehicles. With the revival of the iconic Renault 4, basically Renault is saying, EVs, they don't have to look like EVs. You can make them look like anything. Apparently, this new model will have the Forever Trophy concept, whatever that means, but there will be basically a combination of retro styling and modern technology. The Renault 4, when's it coming? You're probably thinking, is it coming soon? 2025, early 2025. It's meant to be a global car. This is not just a European vehicle. They're targeting, they say, select global markets. So yeah, hopefully it's for sale in whatever country you live in. The debut of the Renault, the new 5 E-Tech, it was only the beginning of Renault's efforts to kind of bring back a bit of emotion to EVs, to make them a bit more desirable, a bit more kind of interesting. And I think they've done that pretty well. I really like the design of this vehicle. For those of you who are not aware, the Renault 4, it actually was sold over 4 decades, from 1961 to 1994, so 33 years. And there was more than 8 million of them sold worldwide. So there's probably a lot of people who had a Renault 4. Maybe they liked it, maybe they didn't like it, but it certainly would bring back a bit of nostalgia, a bit of probably some good memories from back in their earlier days. The high-riding Renault 4 will be hitting showrooms across Europe and other global markets in 2025. And Renault actually revealed this vehicle all the way back in June of 2021. They didn't show a whole lot though. They did show basically what the grille would look like, but these images are, they've taken the grille, car scoops, they've taken the grille and they've basically added it to other details that we know about the vehicle, which suggests that this is probably what it is going to look like. Car Scoop says their most revealing preview of the upcoming production model was the Renault Forever Trophy concept. Now this was debuted in Paris at the auto show in October of 2022. So, nearly 2 years ago now. Now, as you can see, it's like a small to medium-sized crossover, about the size of something like a BYD Atto 3 or the BYD Yen Plus, as it's known in China. That black grille, though, it does look good, and I think it's one of the better-looking vehicles that I've seen. In fact, I'm quite a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of the lights at the back. The back of the vehicle looks to me like a bit of a kind of like a mini, an electric mini Clubman or something like that. Not a big fan, but to be honest, the front of this vehicle I think looks fantastic. So what do we know about the size and the technology? All right, we do know the size. It's meant to be the same as the concept, which is actually a bit smaller than a BYD Atto 3. It's 4,160 millimeters long. That's 163.8 inches. 2,570 millimeters that's the length of the wheelbase. That's a 101.2 inch wheelbase. And that puts it in the B SUV segment. It's probably actually a similar size to something like a BYD Dolphin, but sort of like a jacked up version of the Dolphin. So yeah, and of course it's also much more boxy. So that boxy shape will definitely give it more internal space. Now the Jeep Avenger is the car that it's most similar to in terms of dimensions. The interior of the Renault 4 is likely to be similar to the new 5 E-Tech Electric hatch. So we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but apparently the interior will look similar to Renault's other EVs. A little bit retro though, that's what we're hearing. So Renault's obviously going after the blending of modern design with retro style. I think they're doing it quite well. I'm pretty impressed by Renault's interiors recently. In terms of the technology, not so sure, but in terms of the appearance, the look, the way everything kind of blends in, they've done a much better job than what Ford have done with the retro interior of the Mustang. I think the retro interior of the Mustang, it didn't really work in my opinion. Well, that's what I think anyway. But this to me, it makes it work. Now, there are other EVs that kind of are a bit retro that I think look fantastic. Those are like the Honda E. Unfortunately, the Honda E is just dead now. Honda, I wish they had made that vehicle for global markets. They never did. The Fiat 500e, though, that looks great. And it's a really good selling vehicle. Even though it's a little bit too pricey, I think, for what it is, that retro design really appeals to a lot of people. The Renault 4 will be built on a stretched version of the CMF BEV, or the CMF BEV architecture, that underpins the Renault R5, the upcoming Alpine A5 hot hatch as well, and the electric successor to the Nissan Micra and the Nissan Juke. Similar to the 5, it will offer 3 single-motor front-driven powertrains. Not a whole lot of power. Power ranges from 94 horsepower in the base model, a mid-spec model 121 horsepower, and the top spec is 148 horsepower. Similar to, like I said, the Jeep Avenger. The Renault may also offer the option of a rear-mounted second motor, giving it 4-wheel drive, and that's what Jeep have done recently as well. You'll have the option of either a 40 kilowatt hour battery or a bigger 52 kilowatt hour pack. It'll give it range of 250 miles to around about 280 miles. That's about 400 kilometers to possibly up to 500 kilometers of range. Charging speed. Well, apparently charging speeds could be between 80 to 100 kilowatt, but let's hope they're better than that, because 2025, I think that charging speed in 2025 is just too slow. But there will be one really cool feature with these cars. The Renault 5 and the Renault 4 will both have vehicle to grid, or VTG technology. That'll allow you to, plug in lots of things to this car. You could actually use this car on a camping trip to power a lot of this stuff. You could use it for your power tools. You could even use it to power some appliances in your house if you wanted to. We know that the vehicle will have new low-cost batteries, which are very unusual actually. They are lithium batteries with nickel, manganese, and cobalt, but they're called NMW. And even though that sounds like normal battery technology, they actually are a bit different in the way that they're built. They're meant to be, therefore, cheaper than previous batteries made in France. So yeah, the batteries will be made in France at their Renault Group Electricity Hub. The R5 Super Mini and the 4 crossover will serve as the zero-emission counterparts to the internal combustion, Clio, and Capture. And Renault are thinking, well, we're going to sell these, but they won't be the primary car. I mean, Renault is still pretty focused on internal combustion, even though they know the future of the auto market is EVs. I don't think they plan on selling millions of these. Is there enough demand to sell millions of them? I don't know. But I mean, looking at this concept car, if it looks anything like the concept, which it definitely could, it would sell really well if it was priced affordably. Like if this comes out in the, say, $25,000 range, it will sell insanely well. But that's the key question. What will the prices be? Renault apparently are targeting around a $25,000 to $30,000 price range. If they can deliver on that, I think they're in with a big winner. Guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.